Hi guys! If you ever need to make a fast and easy dessert, boxed cake mix can be your best friend. And there is nothing wrong with making a boxed cake mix. I always have boxed cake mixes on hand for situations where I need something super fast and easy. So let's get right into it. The first step is to empty your red velvet cake mix into the mixing bowl, and then grab yourself a whisk and start stirring it up to break up any of the clumps. Next, you're going to pour in 3/4 of a cup of sour cream, half a cup of vegetable oil, a half a cup of water, 1/4 of a cup of mayonnaise, 3 eggs, 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract, and finally 1 cup of mini chocolate chips. So as you can see, even though this is a boxed cake mix, we're making it really special, really fancy, and really good. Now grab your hand mixer and start mixing up all your ingredients until they're completely combined. So now you want to take any bundt cake pan that you happen to have and spray it with non-stick spray. And then using all of your arm strength, you're going to try to neatly pour your cake batter into the pan. This is a really heavy glass bowl that I'm using, so it takes some maneuvering to get it all in my pan somewhat neatly and not all over the sides of my cake pan. So I'll be pouring some in and then moving my pan and then pouring some in and moving my pan. You just got to do what you got to do to make it look nice. Once it's all in there, I'm going to give my cake pan a nice little tap on the countertop, just a little love tap if you will, to get any bubbles out, and it will sort of even out the batter around the pan as well. And then into the oven at 350 degrees for about 20 to 30 minutes. Okay, so while my cake is baking in the oven, I'm going to make some homemade frosting. Homemade cream cheese frosting is one of my favorite things, and it's especially good on red velvet cake. So I'm going to put 1 8-ounce package of cream cheese into a mixing bowl along with about 1/4 of a cup of softened butter. And I'm going to use my hand mixer to mix it all together, and it'll be kind of a little bit clumpy at first, but if you keep mixing it, it'll start to get nice and smooth. And then I'm also going to add in a splash of vanilla, maybe a tablespoon or more. I really love vanilla, so I add extra. I always add a lot of vanilla. But you, do what you like. If you don't like vanilla, don't add it. If you like a lot of vanilla, add a lot. Then I'm adding in a few cups of powdered sugar. Add as much as you need to get the consistency that you want for your frosting. I need mine somewhat thick to pipe it out on my cake, so I'm adding about 2 to 2.5 cups of powdered sugar. Once my cake is done baking, I'm setting it on the counter to cool down. Once it's cooled a little bit, I'm running a butter knife into the sides of the cake just to make sure that nothing is stuck to my cake pan. Once I'm ready, I'm taking my cake plate and I'm covering the bottom of my pan, and then I'm grabbing onto the sides and I'm flipping my cake over to release it from the pan. To decorate, I'm going to use 3 tips, all different sizes. The Ateco 806, 804, and 802. They all have the same type of tip, they're just different sizes. So I'm keeping this super simple and just adding stripes in the different thicknesses down the sides of my cake. I'm using 1 decorator bag and just switching out the tips. So the first time around my cake, I'm using the largest tip, which is the 806 tip. Then I switched to the 804 and finally to the smallest tip, which is the 802. But you could use just one of these tips, or if you had a different tip laying around or you only have 1 tip, that's fine. You can use any one that you want. Or if you don't have any tips, you don't need to use a frosting bag and tips. You could just make your frosting into a pourable consistency and drizzle it onto your cake. But I love frosting and I want every piece to have a nice, thick, gooey glob of frosting on it. So I'm doing mine this way, but you. Do it however you like. Once my cake is completely frosted, I just added some mini chocolate chips to the top to finish it off. The cake was super fast and easy to make. I didn't need a lot of tools and it tasted great. You'd never know it was from a box. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and thanks for watching.